He has a reputation of being one of the most violent men in pro wrestling. I'm speaking, of course, of El Cazador de Sangre, the Blood Hunter, a man who's straight out of Puerto Rico looking to unleash but a bloodbath and a massacre of blood. And today he's here in Hawkesbury facing off against Genesis, who's one hell of an athlete, one hell of a powerhouse, and one hell of a wrestler. And El Cazador de Sangre wastes no time and chops the chest right out of Genesis here. Genesis manages to reverse that and has El Cazador de Sangre ejected from the ring. As I was saying, Genesis is one hell of a all-around athlete here, and pro wrestler, standing about 6'3", weighing 255 pounds, double axe handle from the top. Genesis has been around GMW, has made a name for himself, obviously, as he's attacking El Cazador de Sangre. El Cazador de Sangre again with those chops, clobbering his back. Genesis with the receipt there, pushing El Cazador de Sangre right up against the ring. El Cazador de Sangre with these vicious attacks to the chest, knife heads, chops. These guys are brawling out. El Cazador de Sangre stands about 6'5", 275 pounds of just madness, Puerto Rican vicious madness, against the 6'3", 255 pound Genesis here, showing some good Muay Thai action with the clinch, reverses yet again, throwing El Cazador de Sangre head first into the post there. I can't believe El Cazador de Sangre is still in this. You'd think he'd be concussed. The man's still in this match here, as Genesis throws him back in there like a saca mierda, going for the pin. Not gonna happen. Nice push kick by Genesis here, but it's gonna take a hell of a lot more than that to deal with the Blood Hunter. We've seen the Blood Hunter face Teddy Hart. He beat the hell out of that chicken, sent him to the Vatican, had him trying to find the Da Vinci's Code and angels and demons. El Cazador de Sangre, as I mentioned, has a reputation for violence, a reputation for being a vile, violent, and scientifically sadistic in his ways there. Look at that vicious lariat right to the back of Genesis. Stan Hansen's probably popping bottles right now to that one there. El Cazador de Sangre, of course, is going to be facing off against Haku. You don't want to miss that event. Go to Great North Wrestling to find out more information. That's October 19th. Apocalypse Haku, the legendary Tongan wrestler, is facing off against El Cazador de Sangre. You don't want to miss it. El Cazador de Sangre is just clobbering and just chopping down this Genesis here. Genesis with the reversal here gets kicked right in the face. El Cazador de Sangre with another vicious clothesline, toppling his opponent right outside the ring. This 275-pound powerhouse goes flying right across the friggin', my goodness, look at that aerial assault by El Cazador de Sangre. Of course, he's a luchador, folks. He's a luchador, and the fans out here in Hawkesbury are going crazy for that extremely impressive. My goodness, he just took a cane. He just took this man's cane, a cane. He just smashed it right over Genesis's back. He's a violent human being with no respect for anyone. He wants nothing but blood everywhere here in Hawkesbury. Picks up the 250-pound Genesis, tosses him like a saca mierda right against the wall. He's got this unsatiable thirst for violence, blood, and destruction. El Cazador de Sangre, impressive as always, extremely vicious and conniving in and outside of the ring. You just saw what he did there. He grabbed a man's cane, a walking cane, and smashed it on Genesis' back, and now he's got a garbage bin, smashes Genesis right on his head. He just blasted the blast processing out of Genesis there. Genesis looks clobbered and victimized by El Cazador de Sangre, who's known as the Chupacabra in Puerto Rico. Again, look at this. He's got the chair, my guy. He just smashed the chair again. He's trying to kill a man out here. El Cazador de Sangre is trying to kill his Genesis out here. He just tossed the chair. The fans are going mad and rabid out here in Hawkesbury. They cannot believe the amount of violence that they're being exposed to here. And folks, this is a fundraiser for a hospital. I think it's a win-win. El Cazador de Sangre, the gift that keeps giving, showing us how important hospitals here. He's making a victim out of this Genesis, and he's putting more chairs in business than you can think of. Look at the welts on Genesis' back. The man looks broken. He can't even take a seat on any chairs. They're all broken, damn it. He's tired. He's exposed. My goodness, he manages to reverse that and tosses El Cazador de Sangre literally out of Le Sommet. Right up outside of the gymnasium here. Genesis looks broken, but he's still got some fire in him. He's going to go find this El Cazador de Sangre, who just went flying out there. We're talking about a 275-pound man. My goodness, he's bleeding. He's been busted up. El Cazador de Sangre, first time ever been busted up here by Genesis. He's not going to like that at all. Genesis, the powerhouse, slams El Cazador de Sangre right in the gymnasium floor. These two professional wrestlers are giving 300% out here. You hear the fans clapping and popping for this. Impressed by the high action that they're being exposed to by these two extremely talented professional wrestlers. Well, Genesis being a little cheesy there, I'm sure El Cazador de Sangre will teach him a lesson here, reminding Genesis that he's fighting against El Cazador de Sangre, and tonight he's going to take his soul in some blood, as he did to Teddy Hart, and who knows, he might even do the same to that alleged legend Haku. The sound of those chops resonating from Hawkesbury and reverberating throughout Canada from coast to coast. You're watching Great North Wrestling. Make sure you follow the Hannibal TV on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, you name it. You don't want to miss it. This is the best promotion in Canada here. El Cazador de Sangre is setting him up here. Baptism by Chupacabra, flying tombstone pile driver by the madman from Puerto Rico, El Cazador de Sangre. One hell of a luchador. Cain Velasquez, if you're watching this, I dare you to challenge El Cazador de Sangre. He gonna slap the Mexico right out of your mouth, brother.